You know, friends, it has been said that human females are expected to live up to impossibly high standards as far as laws of physical attraction, being good looking, you know, and if you doubt that, watch any movie and you'll notice all the girls have the big lips with too much Play-Doh injected into them, and they look a little bit like the mouth of Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they all have the perfect symmetry and the eyes, and it's very narrow standards, and it's true. You have to feel bad about you know, that being part of the human society, but it's just as bad, really, in the society of evil, old-fashioned Halloween witches. Because, you know, they're expected to conform to very rigid and very narrow guidelines of ugly standards, which is to say they're expected to have a big pointy nose, and is it possible this is a cookie jar and not a candle? Maybe. They're expected to have the pointy nose and the big chin, and it helps if they have one squinky eye, you know, that very narrow standards there too. And skin color is a factor. People who are born green, you know, tend to get favorably judged behind the scenes in the society of evil Halloween witches. And this, oh, there we go. I think, yes, finally. I was starting to think this was the kind of candle that would require witchcraft, actually. Anyway, never mind. At the employment agency for witches, you know, at employment for evil wizards, witches, and warlocks, sometimes known by their acronym, EW. Down there in the front office, they have one of those cute, funny, witty signs on the wall. It says, "You don't have to be warty and green to work here, but it helps." That's their idea of humor down there. Anyway, not all the witches can look as wonderfully witchy as, say, the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, she kind of has her own look, but she did set the beauty standards for witches, didn't she? To some extent. Anyway, today's monstrosity is one of those witches who's had to deal with that. But you'll never forget her. Witches look kind of alike in terms of masks for Halloween. A lot of the masks look pretty similar, but not this girl. No, sir, not this old girl. This is the Pentagram Witch, or as her evil, wicked little demonic imp grandchildren call her, Pentagram. Not to be confused with the witch who works for the United States military. That would be the Pentagon Witch. This is the Pentagram Witch. And I'll tell you what's special about her, besides the obvious marking there. I like the fact that she looks completely bad. Do you know what I mean? She appears to have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. She would not have any sympathy for anybody else in the room, I'm thinking. She looks completely soulless and cold and ruthless and evil and wicked, and there's just no human warmth or empathy or anything like that in that face. You're welcome. And you will notice she is marked with the sign of the pentagram, which gives her mysterious powers over the elements. Yes, and gives it what? No, I didn't say elephants. I said power over the elements. They heard me. I didn't say elephants, did I? No. I said it right. Power over the elements, because she has the mark of the pentagram burned right into her flesh. And no, I did not do it with one of these candles. It was with your what? What now? What? Well, no, I know. I know being marked with the sign of the pentagram on your skin doesn't really give you any special powers or anything. I was just trying to, you know, sell you, trying to make you look good, trying to build you up a little, make everybody think you're really evil and scary. You know, like you like to be on Halloween. Scary. Yeah. Some of the masks give you a hard time. It happens. No, I know it doesn't really give you powers. By the way, if it doesn't really give you powers, why do you have it there? Why do you have the big pentagram burned into your forehead as if with a hot branding iron rather than a horror hotel candle. Why do you have it there? If it, oh, what? Oh, it was an accident? It was an accident? How could that possibly be? Oh, you mean you didn't want it on your forehead? Well, where did you want it? On someone else. I don't blame you. Well, how did you end up with it on your forehead then? Oh, it was part of the hazing, part of the initiation. Wow, you thought colleges were tough for humans when they did those college initiation hazings and things. So were you the new girl joining the, by the way, do you pronounce it coven or coven? Because I've heard both. I've heard it both ways, and you don't like either one? How do you say it? The perfectly innocent ladies sewing circle. Okay. How did you end up with an accidental? Oh, it was part of the hazing, but not you? Oh, you were supposed to do it to a new initiate into the coven, or I mean the perfectly innocent lady sewing circle. You were supposed to apply that to the new girl. I see. Well, that's kind of nasty, don't you think? Oh, it wasn't supposed to go there? Where was it supposed to go? On her bottom. I should have known. She was supposed to get her bottom toasted with it. Well, then how did you end up? Oh, slipped and fell. Oh, with the branding iron in your hand. Oh, how unfortunate indeed. Sorry to hear that. But it does give you a mark of distinction. You stand out like a sore thumb from all the other witches and monsters, I'll tell you that. But why did you slip and fall when you were about to brand the other witch on the behind with the, oh, slipped on something. Banana peel? Corpse's tongue. It figures. Anyway, what a great mask. And you can, what? Well, they know that. I don't have to tell them that. Of course they're gonna wear a robe or like a hooded robe or a witch type dress, old-fashioned witch costume with you if they wear you or put you on a mannequin. They know that. What do you think they're gonna wear with you? A Power Rangers outfit? Come on. Anyway, the Pentagram witch has this very creepy hair, which they did a super good job with. And I have to tell you, when I saw the pictures online from Trick or Treat Studios, who makes this monstrosity, I thought, oh, the hair doesn't look good. That's going to have to come right off right there. And Laura's going to have to redo that, put a wig on there or something. But to my surprise, in person, it looks great. It's good-looking hair that looks like real hair. It doesn't look like plastic. It doesn't look like string. It looks like real hair. And it is punched or inserted right into the rubber so that you can see some of her scalp all the way through. Okay? And that's really, really cool. So if you were looking at it online and thought, oh, I hate the way they did that hair, you might still like it in person because it looks much better up close and personal, believe it or not. Now, this is said to have been sculpted by a Sydney Zeffro. I wonder who that is. What? Will you stop interrupting? Ask her a question? Okay. Why? Ask Sydney Zeffro. She wants me to ask, what's your favorite scary movie, Sydney? I don't know. She just wanted me to ask that. What's all you guys' favorite scary movie? Come to think of it. You know, it's not really a good idea to be marked with a pentagram. Any werewolf you happen to meet might think it's his job to make you his next meal, because some werewolves will see the sign of the pentagram on the skin of their fated next victim. Yeah, you watch movies too. Okay, so you know that. Well, that might be dangerous then. You know, a good thing to do about that might be wear a witch hat, the traditional pointy, old-fashioned classic witch hat, and have one that pulls down far enough to cover that. And especially if you wanted to frighten some humans or startle some people, scare the children out of your yard, you could pull the hat off and then they see this nasty thing that's happening. Right there. Scary, isn't she? And here's another anecdote about that, the pentagram sign. Many years ago, I made a mask of my own. It was not a great sculpture. I was too young to be doing selling masks to make it. But I made one that I called a demon skull. And then I found out there were a couple other masks called demon skull. And then I was like, okay, we'll be devil skull. We'll call it devil skull. Made my own mask of a devil skull. And it did show up on an episode of the television series Life Goes On. It really did. But I was going to have the pentagram carved into the forehead of the devil skull. But I was kidding as far as I wasn't trying to encourage anybody to try any real, well, anything devilish in real life. But at the time, other people told me, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. That might offend people. Don't put, and in a way, as an artist, if I haven't offended anybody, then I'm not doing my job. But I thought, okay, I don't want to send the wrong message. So I left it smooth on top, and I didn't do that. But then a million years later, somebody else comes along with it. And I would say they're probably going to get away with it without being accused of actual evil today. But what do you sell for? For Halloween? I know. How much does it cost? Oh, like 60 bucks or so. It's hard to it's hard to give prices, isn't it? Because they're so all over the place right now. Yeah. But wow, if you thought Hell Week was rough at the college that you went to, you do not want to go to one of the Halloween witches associations, I'll tell you. And I think that's all we have to say about her. So what do you mean you want more time? These episodes can only be so long. I can't go on talking about you all day. What? What do you mean I'm not too big to have my rear end toasted with a branding iron? No, I don't want you to send the girls round. And okay, let's just say she's a great mask, and every mask collection should have one of her, and every haunted attraction should have her in it as a featured character. So for badness sake, get yourself a Trick or Treat Studios Pentagram witch. And if you're messing around with hot fiery things, don't mess around with hot fiery things. Thank you, and drive safely.